Yo, what's up?
Oh shit. I'm I'm on there.
Yeah, what
Oh
up?
damn. What's up, bro?
What up, man? what's
So
what's
I just got on the live like just right now. So I don't know what y'all been talking about thus far, but I got a lot of questions for you for sure. Ever since I found your channel.
what, that's what's up. Let's get to it then. Let's get to it.
Alright, so I've been looking into the box truck business for the past year. I just started doing like my research on it and like everything I need to do and how much I'm gonna need and all that. So right now I'm getting my plan together on like basically like how I'm gonna start with starting off and everything. So I've been going on your channel, starting off with obviously the price range I would like about how much capital I would need, and then basically like all the requirements as far as with the FMSCA and I think you said like something like a DOC 3 or something like that. So yeah, I'm just doing all that right now. Um, but while I'm doing that, I'm working a job right now, and it's actually driving box trucks, uh, for somebody in their company. So and it's almost like he said like basically I'm gonna be leasing a truck from him, and then just paying him for the truck and the insurance, I guess, and then we split the money on the loads type thing.
Okay.
But with that plan right there, or with that being said right there, where could you fill in and add some input to guide me in the most efficient direction?
Wait, so you working for somebody right now in a box truck?
Well, yeah, it's all lace stuff. Actually not. I can't say like I'm already doing it. I literally just started like last week. And it's through a family friend.
What they got you doing?
Um, I just as of this far, I just got acclimated with driving like the 16 footers and stuff. Just so they could see that I know how to like handle those and stuff. I guess. So that's what we did the whole first week. And then now I'm gonna start taking out loads tomorrow.
Okay. So you want to know about what? Start your own business?
Yeah, cause that's the ultimate goal. I'm really just doing this right now because I needed a job, and it coincides with what I'm trying to do. Um, business wise as well as it's what I'm trying to open up as well.
So I think you in the best spot. I think you need to work there, work really hard, and while you working, I think you need to soak up as much information as you can from a in
So
the
starting
field
off with
standpoint. I think from an in the field standpoint, from an operational standpoint. So even the stuff that you see the whoever you're working for doing behind the scenes, how they communicate, from an operational perspective, from a human
yeah,
resource perspective, from a networking perspective, the stuff that you're doing in the field, paying attention to what you're actually doing, maybe the companies that you're going to. I don't know if you're doing like, is it just you on the truck or is it two guys on the truck?
no, it's just me.
It's just you. So what you doing?
Yeah,
Like dropping off pallets or something? What actually are you doing?
I believe so. I haven't actually got my first load yet, but I believe it's
What did they tell you were gonna be doing?
I do know the loads that he's getting. They come off of the load board. He uses DAT and a couple other load boards, and he
So is it
has
local
a
or is it cross country? Are you going
local
out
for
of town?
right now, local. But when I
So
open up mine, uh-huh,
so you doing local work in a 16 footer off a load board?
26 footer.
Oh, I thought you said 16 foot. So it's a 26 footer. All right, where are
Yeah,
you located at?
Los Angeles.
So you're doing local work off a load board in Los Angeles. And what is this? Every day? Did he tell you what days a week you're gonna be working?
Um, nah, he just said cause like tomorrow's gonna be my first day taking loads, for example, and so he said basically in the morning he's gonna start looking for loads and he's gonna let me know when basically I get a load, and then Uh, um, I'm gonna get that one, I guess, and then take that one, and then yeah,
So
you
you ain't
looking
did
good.
no training or nothing.
Nah, that's what we did last week, or well, this week technically, but yeah.
Well, what last week or this week? Or is this week last week? Because I'm
Well,
confused.
cause today's still Sunday, so every day before Sunday leading up, you feel me? That's technically still this week. So
No,
this whole
no, it
week,
ain't. This is a new week. Sunday is the first day of the week. This is a new
well, you
week.
you right, but
So
business days, the week start on Monday. I thought
yeah. So did you
so
train last week or is you training this week?
this week.
So you ain't did nothing on the truck with Buddy.
As far as getting loads, but as far as learning how to use the lift gate and actually driving a truck and um, the basic functions like how to apply the brake and stuff, the air or yeah, the emergency brake or whatever, like just
Okay.
getting acclimated with
So
the truck.
so is he going out with you this week or he gonna send you out on your own once he finds you a load tomorrow?
Oh no, he's sending me on the load by myself tomorrow. He's been out with me all week this week.
He's sending you on a load by yourself tomorrow,
Yes.
and it's gonna be
He been
local.
correct. Local means like in the state, right?
Yeah. Well, local, yeah, within the state, local within your city. Not just say
Okay.
not crossing state lines. Just say not crossing state lines. If you
Okay,
come
yeah.
home and you sleep in your bed, if you're able to come home and sleep in your bed, that's local.
Well, that's just because California big, so sometimes we be having loads
Well,
from LA.
what I'm saying, are you coming home or are you gonna be out?
Sometimes I'm be coming home.
So you, so what are you
Oh,
doing?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. No, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna be coming home. Yeah, I'm gonna be coming home. I see what you're saying now.
Okay, all right. So what you should do is you should learn from whoever you working for. Just learn as much as you can, bro. You know, it don't sound like you're gonna get much training. It sound like you're gonna have to feel your way through a lot of stuff on your own. So as you working for this person, I think you need to pay attention and learn the good and learn the bad. Like if you starting tomorrow and you going out in the field tomorrow, me personally, you would have had at least a couple weeks, a week, at least a minimum a week where you would have been on the truck before you went out by yourself. So that's something too that
That's
you want
that's
to pay
this
attention
week.
to. Huh?
That- That's what we did this week.
That's what you did this week? You said
Yeah.
that's what you did this what you did is like past tense, but then you saying this week and this the first day of the week. This is why I'm confused because you speaking
Okay.
in
I see what you're saying.
like
All right.
you
Last week. Last week. All
this what
last
we
week.
did this week. Like what? Dude, it's the first day. What you talking about?
Well, cause not everybody think it's Sunday is the first day, so like I just be stuck with like stuck in that mode almost like just from repetition of saying like, oh, on Monday is the beginning of the week. But
Type
I know
shit.
what you mean. So
Type
like
shit.
I just seen
Type
a
shit.
video too where you just learned that word.
Yeah, type shit.
It's
Because
funny
I'm
to
trying
me.
to
It's beautiful
learn. Like the past
type
is
shit.
now,
I
and now
feel
is
you.
past. But you type shit. Type shit. I'm
Type
trying to catch up
shit.
with y'all. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So last
I
week is so this week is last week, right? Is basically what you're saying. Or this week that's coming up is last
yeah.
week, but
Last
it's really
week.
this week type shit.
So all last week, he was on the truck with me driving and
Okay.
showing me how to park. And, we was putting the cons up, acting like I got to park in between trailers and stuff you know, at the warehouse and stuff. Like we was doing stuff like that all last week. And so,
Bet.
tomorrow is when I take out my first load.
Bet.
And then that's
Bet.
going to
All
be
right.
just local.
All right.
But
Yeah.
the overall premise is to start my own thing. And how I wanted to start out is with just one box truck or even a cargo van, whichever one I like. Good, whichever I can allot the money for at the time. But I just what's been real shaky for me is like finding an exact number of how much I should start out with and where everything goes plus everything that like I need with it. like like how, because I was just watching another video. I haven't got through the whole live. It's like 4 hours, but it was like one of your lives that was like 4 hours, but you was saying like
Mhm.
a whole bunch of stuff that I never knew that you even needed to get. And so it was like, though it's just a lot of things that I gotta factor in, and you don't know what you don't know. So I just be trying to do as much research as I can. But with having you on the phone right now, it make it a lot easier to like just ask you directly, like, how much do I need and what do I need to get?
Well, you're gonna need a lot of money, bro. I can't really give you an exact number because I'm gonna tell you this: that $5,000 shit, that's out the window, right? If I was coming into this business now, knowing what I know, especially going OTR, me personally, I would at least want to have probably $25,000-$30,000 saved up, at least.
Okay.
All right, at least, right? So you gotta have enough money to float the business. The reason a lot of people fail in this business so fast is because they don't have any money. It's just like any other business you start. You know what I'm saying? You have to factor the cost of the learning curve and the mistakes that you're gonna make at the beginning and the things you just don't know. And all that stuff costs, right? If you come in with just enough money, that's not enough money. You see what I'm saying? You can't come into a business winging it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's things that are just gonna happen. I can't, I can give you a bunch of scenarios, but there's always gonna be things that don't happen. But for the most part, for new people, the biggest cost for new people is just the learning curve within itself. So
Yeah.
ignorance is a bill when you new in
Sure.
business. You know what I'm saying? And it can be costly depending on how ignorant you are. Um, I normally tell people, especially young people like uh, you want to start from humble beginnings and work your way up. So, a lot of people want to come in with the 26-foot box truck, but if that's not your reality from a financial perspective, it's okay to start off small and work your way up to that. I think that way you have more chances of being successful than coming in with not enough money trying to wing it with this big piece of equipment that you really have a lack of knowledge on, and as far as a lack of knowledge within the business itself, and trying to float that uh just on a whim. I see so many young guys fail. Like I've
Right.
been doing these live streams and just YouTube content for a little over 3 years now, and like 98% of the people that come up, they don't last, bro.
Yeah. So, MB, for one, I always see where it's like the areas like with people like that. I try to see where the areas I could learn from, man. Because like you said, it is a high rate with that. But I got the type of mindset to
But
where
it's a
it's like,
reason why. It's a reason why it's a high rate.
oh,
Remember the
for
reason what
sure,
I said. So,
for sure.
so
That's why I should my overall intention is to just gain as much knowledge that I can before I get into it. And then that way, when I get into it, it's gonna be almost like I've been doing this, because I know I'm gonna lack the experience for sure, but it's
mhm,
gonna um, like how I'm working in a field right now, to where it's like I'm working with box trucks already. That's going
mhm,
all I'm doing right here is just everything that I'm ignorant to, asking those
mhm.
questions,
Yeah.
listening in on different conversations, and boom, boom, boom. But when I do start mine, I did
Mhm,
want to and correct me on what the most efficient way is. I was thinking about starting off with renting, and I don't know if that's the best way to go, or if
you
I should
know,
just get my finance a truck, or how I should do that.
renting is going to eat up a lot of your margin. A lot of the guys that come in now that rent, They don't make it. That's one of the reasons why a lot of guys don't make it. The margins are very, very thin, you know,
Okay.
already in this industry to begin with, right? So you want to kind of reduce your overhead as much as possible and have like more of a good financial solid plan when you come in. Once upon a time, I'm old enough and been in this industry long enough to I could tell you that once upon a time you could run a successful box truck business with a rental truck. But this is back when they were giving you 1,500 free miles a week, and you can get a 26 footer for $450 a week. You know what I'm saying? And this is a decade or so ago. You know what I'm saying? So during that time period when this industry wasn't as popularized as it is now, when people's mindsets weren't, all, I gotta have my own business and shit like that, when, these rental companies weren't written, the requests for these trucks weren't as high as it is now. That was what the market rate was. But now, because of the pandemic and that lingering hype and popularity, the rates, and then inflation too, the rates are higher. I don't think they throw in those free miles anymore. So, and with the cost of operation that has risen over the years, but the rates are still the same as they were a decade ago. You have to you have to you have to make sure that your overhead is as low as possible, and this is why uh, renting, I don't think is no longer a good option, especially if you're coming in uh, on the new. I think you probably want to save up enough money and acquire a truck, uh, an affordable truck coming in.
Should
I
I?
just think the rentals are just going to eat up too much of your profit margin.
Okay. Should I finance it or get it cash?
Me, I'm gonna tell you, I'm like I tell everybody watch my channel, cash is king. I mean, my
Gotcha.
first trucks, I was buying them cash, but this is over a decade ago, so trucks, they weren't as expensive as they are now. You know what I'm saying? So you can get a 26 footer. The average 26 footer that's going for 50,000 now, you could get for $25,000. $25,000 was like 25, 27, 28 was like creme de la creme. What you getting for 20, $30,000 now is getting 26 footers for 15, 16, 17,000. Yeah. So, I would recommend, if you can afford to get it cash, get it cash. But if you have to finance, then finance. Just make sure that you finance, your terms are good. Financing a 26-foot truck, you're probably going to have to go through um, some type of third party personal lender. So, for instance, like if you go to like a Ryder or a Penske, they'll put you with a broker, and then they'll find you this institution that will finance the truck for you, which is not a traditional bank. So it's similar to like a hard money loan. It's going to be, they're gonna buy the truck for you, and they're gonna give you a hard number on what they want. They know what they want to make already. So it's gonna come with prepayment penalties. If you pay the truck off early, you still got to pay it in full. Things of that nature. It's not like getting something from like a Wells Fargo or GMC Financial or an Ally or BOA or Chase financing it. It's a different ball game. So you want to read through the contract if you go that way, because I've seen these contracts. I seen one, actually, a guy in the last video clip I put up. His contract was that once he was done paying it, if he didn't write them a notice, I think 120 days prior to the last payment, he had to return the truck. He had to write them a letter 120 days before the last payment stating that he was going to keep the truck. And if he didn't write it, it automatically they automatically going to deem it that he was turning it in, and he had to turn it in at the end of the payment. They would treat it like a lease. Like, I
Yeah.
looked at the contract and read it and everything. So you have to read these things through. I
Okay.
would recommend cash though. I would recommend cash. I would recommend save up enough money and buy
Do that.
cash if you can. You said
So,
what?
so like I said that's exactly what I'm gonna do then. Shoot.
Make sure y'all hit that like button. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would work really, really hard. And if you can save up the money, save up the money.
Definitely so, for sure. All right, so you said start out with about like 25, 30,000. Yeah,
That's a good starting point. I mean, more doesn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? More don't
feel
hurt,
that.
but
I
but I,
feel that.
right, that's a good starting point with a good cushion. If you are a savvy businessman and you know how to work your number with that 30 piece,
Yeah,
yeah. Now, if you don't know how to work your number with that 30 piece, you could blow through that. I know somebody that blew through 30. I've met a lot of people doing content. I've heard a lot of stories. A lot of people have been in that same spot where you're sitting over the course of the last 3 years. So, if you go through a lot of
yeah,
my content, it's a lot of wild stories. So I'm not just making up scenario like some of these wild. These are real case studies that
yeah.
have come up. You know what I'm saying? So I've had somebody 30 had a guy last year
I,
blow through 50,000. Oh, he was an older guy. He blew through 50,000. So yeah,
damn,
yeah. So,
that would hurt my soul right there. I ain't gonna lie.
but that's just that's
That
just
would hurt my
educate. That's just
soul.
that's just. But see, a lot of that is due to one investing into something that you don't understand. Right? Not enough
Right.
research. A lot of people they jump into this, and I don't know what you about 26 or something like that. 25, 26, 27.
Ball.
25, right? So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
good. I could
true.
just look at you and tell, just listen to how you talk, look at you. 25. The drugs
Talk
ain't the
shit.
drug. The drugs ain't got to you too much with his age. I seen you hit. Was you just hitting something?
The vape.
Oh, you hitting
Yeah,
the vape.
I
See, you
got
hit
a
you
little
hit that another 5 years. It's gonna age you 5 years, pimp. You dig what I'm saying? So you might want to lay off of that. You dig what I'm saying?
but black
You
don't
see what I'm
crack,
saying?
so that's why we
Yeah,
be
yeah.
smoking them.
It don't crack if you do what you're supposed to do. See, how old
You
you
right.
think I am? How old you think I am?
Hey, not gonna lie, I definitely would have. When you said you was 40, I ain't believe it. I definitely would have thought you was like 23, 24,
All right,
25.
so you dig what I'm saying? That's because I'm gonna live that healthy lifestyle. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't do none of that. I might hit the nail in the 1942 on social occasions. Like I ain't just around here with a bottle sitting on the couch. You dig what I'm saying? Drinking. Like
yeah,
I ain't drink. I ain't had a drink. I can't even remember whatever the last time I had. It's like some type of social whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, but
yeah,
black don't crack if you do what you're supposed to do. I done seen some. It's a guy that came up on this show last year. He was 34. He looked like he was 54. Life fucking him
yeah.
up. You dig what I'm
Like,
saying?
fuck,
Life
fuck.
fucking him up. You dig what I'm saying? So I didn't give him a hard time. Sometimes I just let life kick a motherfucker in the ass. You dig what I'm
I
saying?
feel you.
But he looked like he was 54 and he was 10 years younger than me. You see what I'm saying? So that all depends on if you do what you supposed to do. You take care of your body gonna take care of you. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like your truck. If you take care of your truck gonna take care of you. You take care of your business gonna take care of you. You see what I'm saying? So your body is your temple. God, gave it to you. You dig what I'm saying? You gotta take care of it.
For sure, for sure. I got you. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I came for the trucking advice, but I definitely do need to like be a little healthier because I just like once you start. I don't know. Like when I got out of playing sports, like that's when you know everything just not necessarily went out the window, but like I just didn't really tend to my health more as much because it was always like shoot. It was like grind mode, and so it's like you're gonna eat cheaper food, so you're gonna settle for the cakes and you feel me, the 50 cent cakes. You feel me,
Yeah.
some noodles.
Can't see when you running a business, you can't afford to be sick. See, when you working for a job, you can call off and you can leave those problems on the business owner. When you running a business, especially on the new and you building a business at the very beginning, you can't afford to be sick. You can't afford to take days off. A lot of these guys that come up don't even got health insurance. You see what I'm saying? Because their margins are so small they can't afford it. You dig what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So when you building a business, especially during the grind times, you can't really afford to be sick. So you have to take that into consideration too, that you got to make sure you stay healthy because you got to work, you got to build. You probably going to be getting less sleep, so your body not going to be able to recover because you spending time out on the truck, and then when you're not on the truck, You spending time trying to come up with ways to make more money in the field on the truck. You on the
Yeah,
computer. You behind the scenes. You doing your market research. You coming up with new ideas to market your business, to brand your business, to get it out there. The work don't stop once you step off the truck. So that's less sleep, right? You did what I'm saying. So you got to make sure that you stay healthy, man. You know.
definitely. So for sure, I'm gonna keep that in mind for sure, for sure.
Yes,
What
sir.
what other advice would you have for me, like, like going into starting this, like like as far as educating myself, where should I, like, how do I'm trying to structure this question right, but as far as educating myself on what I don't know, how should I go about doing that?
Research, read, surround yourself with people that are where you aspire to be. You know, start finding socialize, putting yourself in environments with people who where you want to be. Rid yourself from the people who don't want to do shit. You know, that's gonna
Mm,
pull you down. Continue to educate yourself. You know, set aside some time every day to reading something educational, uh, pertaining to business and pertaining to the industry that you looking to come into. Consuming good information, uh, as much as possible. You know, obviously at the beginning you need to focus on that entry level information that's pretty much all Googleable information that you can find on Google. So I would do that, but then also outside of the Google information, entry level information for trucking, just start reading and consuming just business information. That way you can stay sharp. You know what I'm saying? Because this industry is shrewd and it's very competitive. And you know, outside of the people that you're going to be competing against in the industry, you also have to keep in mind the you know the unforeseen things like you know economical downturns. You have to be able to read the room, understand what could be coming, seeing indicators, knowing when to make the best decisions for your business, knowing when to hold, knowing when to let go. You know, things of that nature. You know, the industry is kind of is harsh, and the economy is not gonna feel bad for you either. So just consuming as much knowledge as possible. You know, uh, uh, yeah.
yes, sir. Definitely. And so, okay, what I what I commonly come across, um, just in my, like, endeavors with, like, trying to learn, because I got my foot in a lot of different things. I got, like, a lot of stuff that I'm doing, like, or pursuing rather, in life. So, like, whenever I get into something new, um, a lot of the learning is done, like, on my own, like researching Google, YouTube. And the biggest thing that I do come across is that you don't know what you don't know. So it's like, that's why it's hard to structure. It was hard for me to structure the question at first, because that's more so like what I'm trying to ask. Like, how do I? Because I commonly see that, like, when I find out the stuff that I don't know, I usually find it out by researching other stuff. So, like, I'll look up. Oh, I'm watching a video and they spoke on this. Google what this is. Da da da. While it's telling me that, it's saying when you're doing your da 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 da, you need to do. So it's like, oh dang, well, what's that? And then you research that. So should I just keep doing it like that, or is there a more efficient way of finding out what exactly it is that I'm ignorant to, the information that I need to learn?
I got a playbook that you can get. You know, I had one before and then I put it back up. So you can go on my website. I think it's like $17. It's a playbook. So everything you need to start your business from scratch, as far as the your you know you know um, structuring your business, whether you want to go LLC, incorporated, obviously your EIN, your BOC3, like all the stuff that you were saying earlier, but you was kind of, you said your SOC and the SMSCA. You kind of mixed the names up, but it'll give you step by step what you need to do, right? As far as structuring your business, getting your business bank account, your EIN, your DOT, your MC, BOC3, UCR, everything you need is going to give you step by step by step by step. Once I realized that y'all don't do Googleable shit, or y'all don't like to use Google, I just said, whatever, I'll just do the shit for you. All right. So step by step, because y'all don't like to go research. But what you just said made sense as far as you don't know what to look for. So to me, Googleable shit, like basic shit on starting a business, I would just Google, want to start a box truck business. What are the steps? Now, of course, it's 2025. It's going to give you majority of the steps, but there are some little intricate details that it'll miss, and then that's where I come in and fill in all those blanks, and then I give my viewpoint on like LLC versus INC, and when it gets to acquiring your truck, renting versus buying a truck, I talk about that, and then I give my viewpoints and pros and cons one over the other. So you can Google it, or I got a step by step playbook. It's like 60 pages. So 60 or 70 pages. So
And you said that you said it's on your website. You got a website?
yeah, it's in the link in the bottom, in the
Cool.
description.
Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. I'm trying to, man. I ain't get to write down all the questions I want. I literally just found. It's crazy because I just found your channel like last week or so, and I only been
Type.
able to watch 2 or 3 live streams. And then I seen you getting on everybody for not knowing they cost per mile. So I was like, well, damn, y'all seen you had a video of that. So I was like, well, let me watch that shit.
Type
Let me
shit.
watch
Type
that
shit.
motherfucker real quick.
Type shit. Type shit.
So them the only like 3 videos I really seen so far. But you definitely, like I said, I do this a lot as far as just teaching myself anything. I always just, I just do my research, and then once I feel like I got it enough, I do it. From working on my car to learning a whole bunch of stuff that I'm trying to endeavor in. But that's one of the main things I feel like I'm good at, is finding like the channels that, cause you got fake channels and guru channels and people that just try to, sell you something and trying to get their agenda off. But then I feel like I'm good at finding those people that's just really just, hey, I'm so well off this. Like, I'm not only am I good at this, I'm so good at it that I just sit back and get a game for free to whoever trying to soak up game. It's like I'm good at finding those type of channels with whatever I'm
You can
trying to
get a game
endeavor in.
for free. You can give it away for free for so long, but then you realize that one, people don't appreciate free, and then
Yeah,
two, it falls on deaf ears because you'll have people watching you that's been watching you for 2 3 years, and they'll come up and they've been watching you because they're a frequenter of the channel, and then they won't know what it costs them to run their business, and then they know
yeah,
that's like what I'm heavy on. So I had to realize that the hard way because I was an advocate for it for so long, and then but somebody told me that it would come back and bite me in the ass, and it did. You know what I'm saying? So I think the younger generation, y'all say y'all want it, but really when you find it, so with my shit is long. Like I don't have TikTok shit, so I don't. Because somebody left a comment the other day in one of my live streams, and they said, "This is he just yapping for 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever." But
they don't
you could
know.
have put this in a 30-minute short, and I'm like, how do I put whatever that lecture was about into 30 seconds? How can I put this in a 30-second short? You see what I'm saying? So, but it further reiterated what I was finding out, that your generation, the attention span is so low that you're not going to sit there and watch a full 2 or 3 hour or even a 1 hour lecture, because even with this video I put out yesterday, somebody left a comment 20 minutes into the video being out, and the video is 4.5 hours. And I'm like, bro, you're commenting on something. You only been here 20 minutes. The video only been out 20 minutes, and you're putting you're making a synopsis on a 4.5 hour video, only watching 20 minutes of it. If you even watch that 20 minutes, halfway into the video, you're gonna find out this guy signed a bogus deal. 3/4 of the way into the video, you're gonna find out this. You can't you can't come to a conclusion based on the first 20 minutes. So your generation, they don't want to watch something. You have to give them everything in 30 seconds. Cause that's as far as your attention span goes. I can't do that. You see what I'm saying? That's why my TikTok, I've created one. I don't put nothing. I probably haven't put nothing on TikTok in over a year. One, I still don't really know how to understand how to really work it. And two,
Right.
I think the way I do shit, it just wouldn't work over there anyway, because you can't bundle. Like, imagine if you came up here and I just kicked you off after 30 seconds.
Right.
Or imagine if I just gave you simple, straightforward answers without really expounding. Even with the thing, we was joking, but I gave you some gems then when you said black don't crack. And I said, yes, it do. I know people, and I come across people that's older or younger than me that look 10 years older than me. And then I went
Yeah.
into and explaining why. Like, you have to explain shit. You can't explain and educate somebody in 30 seconds. My mother is a retired school teacher. So as far as like curriculum and shit like that, I do have some understanding, because shit, when I went to school, I was taught. And then I remember very early on, like in my primary school years, she was teaching me at home too. You see what I'm saying? So you can't educate somebody and give somebody a full understanding on something in 30 seconds. That's why most of the people that come into this business, especially your generation, that consume information from content like on TikTok and Instagram, that's why their failure rate is so high. And that's why when they come up here, they completely lost, because they see a 30-second reel with a few bullet points and they think it's just as simple as that. And that's as far as they go. They don't go outside of that reel with those 5 or 6 bullet points that their content creators doing this, and then they drop it. They don't go beyond that. So then once
Right.
they follow those simple steps to get in the game, and then they get out here in the game and they find out, whoa, it's more to it than just this, then that's what forces them to come find a guy like me that's gonna go in depth with them, and then you see them up here all frustrated and shit. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? You don't want to be the frustrated person. You don't want to be the person that's frustrated after finding out the hard way. If you want to be frustrated, you want to be frustrated prior to coming in. Pay attention. Pay attention. You ain't in Chicago. You looking all around. Where you live at? Where you live at again?
Oh, I'm in Compton right now.
Oh, well, yeah. Look around. My bad. Go ahead. My bad. I thought you was a middle American. Yeah, go ahead, man. Check your
No,
surroundings.
you
Yeah,
hear that?
no, you all good. I'm from Chicago. I was wondering because I'm used to talking to
So now
middle
he from
Americans. I'm like, what you looking for? You a middle American? You in Compton, man? Let your eyes roam, pimp. Go ahead. Don't mind me. Just listen. Watch your surroundings. You dig what I'm saying?
I'm
So
hearing you though.
yeah,
So
yeah. No,
I'm
no, no. I thought you was a middle
definitely
American. Listen, you okay, brother? Listen, check your surroundings, pimp. I feel you. I know your
no
pain.
doubt.
You dig what I'm saying? I know your pain. You see what I'm saying? So,
My
so you
God.
know, yes, sir, yes, sir. Listen, let's check this out. God damn it, where was we leaving off at? Yeah, so you got to make you want to be the person who's frustrated from educating yourself, and just you've been consuming so much information prior to you coming in, because you don't want to be the 90%. That's the frustrated you want to be. You don't want to be the person who jump in willy nilly and then getting frustrated because you fell and you losing all your money. You're about to uh, be ass up around this motherfucker, some shit like that. You
Right.
dig? So
I got you for sure. That's why, shoot. That's why when I see an opportunity, like, cause I watch a lot of your live streams and it be questions I'll be wanting to ask, just hearing everybody else's like stories and journeys, and I'll be
mm-hmm,
like, dang. And I just found
mm-hmm.
your channel, so I looked on today just to finish watching a 4 hour video. And then I seen it
Mhm.
said live. Like right now, I was like, right now, right now. Like, oh damn, let me
Yes, yes,
try and get
yes,
on.
sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we here.
Oh
We weren't
gosh.
gonna come on. We weren't gonna come on, but I said I'm gonna jump on for a second. We don't be streaming like we used to. I used to stream a lot more, but since
Yeah,
February I dialed back a lot, bro. I dialed back a lot, bro. I dialed back
shoot.
a lot.
Whenever you do, brother, all your content, I appreciate it, man. Cause all I'm doing is soaking it up. I just ain't had enough time to like, you feel me, actually watch all of it yet. But cause it's so many videos, they long, and I'm
Hey,
going to watch them.
hey,
I got,
hey, you gotta listen in the background, man. Get you some ear pods and just throw your ear pods in, or
yeah,
put you one ear pod in, leave the other ear pod out, so you can, you gotta keep your ear to the street. You dig what I'm
yeah,
saying? Put the one ear pod in and listen, and keep the other ear to the street, pimp.
for sure,
You see what I'm
for
saying?
sure, yeah. But you be spitting knowledge though, for sure. You definitely be spitting knowledge. And then too,
Appreciate
like,
you.
so with the I wanted to ask about the ELDs, electronic login, the,
Uh huh.
those.
This is the last question because I got people in the back. I
Uh,
got you coming up next. Then Ohio, or then One Love. I got you coming up after him. What's going on, big dog? This is the last question. I got to move on.
for sure. So with the ELDs, do I need that as an independent driver, or just for when I open
Talking
up
about
my
for you,
own?
the guy that you working for.
Yeah.
If he gonna send you outside 150 air mile radius, then yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So, so you
All right, bro.
said start out with 25,000 or 25 to 30,000.
25 to 30. 25 to 30.
Okay. And buy the truck. That 25 to
Yes, sir.
that 25 to 30 includes that, right?
Well, that depends. You're not gonna probably be able to buy a truck and have money for everything else plus working capital. So that'll be enough to have a down payment and some working capital. Now, that depends on what you're gonna do. I know I could go find me a truck for $20,000 or maybe a little less and be Gucci. But y'all like more newer, more things y'all feel comfortable with. See, I know where me going them at. I got a system. I can go get me a 2011 and be
Yeah,
Gucci. I go get me a
yeah,
2007 and be Gucci. See, y'all like to worry. Y'all want to worry me. I'm gonna go get the money. I'm gonna be like me going them. Me going them running around here in 2003, 2004, 2005 old GMC cab over trucks doing final mile delivery. You see what I'm saying? Because they they
yeah.
they don't want all that cost. See, that's the type of guy I'm gonna be because I understand that the margins are small and I ain't gonna give a care. But no, you're probably not gonna be able to buy a truck with that. You probably gonna have to finance. But if you want to go out and you can find a good used solid truck that might have a little years on it with a good price, then yeah, it's a possibility you could buy one and have the rest as working capital.
Cool, cool. Thank you. I appreciate you for everything in your time, brother. No doubt.
All right, man. Be safe out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love.
All right.